Hey guys, I thought I'd make a truth and rant video. I haven't done one in a while. I guess I have something that's been on my mind, and I guess what I'm calling for is patience toward people and their journey about, or their journey, yeah, about where they are and their knowledge of vaccine safety or vaccine efficacy. Um, because I'm at the point now, I would never let a vaccine near me. If you came near me with the vaccine, I consider that being like having a gun pointed at me, basically. I would never inject my pet. I would never inject myself. I would never, if I have any kids in the future, they're not getting vaccinated. I think they're horrible, evil, deadly inventions. But I'm staunchly anti-vaccine, and I don't care. But there are people that are not that way, and they want to maybe green vaccines, and I respect those people. I mean, I don't think that they're shills or anything's wrong with that, because I remember specifically being in a point in time when I was researching this information where I was there too. So I remember I was living in Taiwan at the time, and I my I just started researching, and I fell and hit my head and cracked my head open, basically, and I went to the hospital, and they wanted to give me a tetanus shot. And at the time I just started, so I really was wary, but I didn't know as much as I knew now. And I'm in Taiwan. They speak Chinese. Chinese isn't my first language, so I'm having a translator translate, and I'm saying that I don't want to take the tetanus shot. And then on this side, the doctor's like, "Ah, ah, 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 ah," and then the translation comes back. He's like, "Well, he says if you don't take, the tetanus shot, then you're no longer welcome here. And if you get an infection, we're not going to treat you." And it was just totally horrible. I was totally bullied into getting a tetanus shot, and I took it. And had I known what I know now about the tetanus shot, I would never have taken the tetanus shot at the time. But as a result, it really forced me to dig deep and gain as much knowledge as I can about vaccination, so I would never be put in that situation again. But I honestly was at that, in my mindset, I was like, oh, well, maybe it's just the combination vaccines. Maybe it's a combination of the MMR and the DTaP. I still hadn't gotten into my head about how it's a hoax, and I still had this notion in my head that vaccines still did save lives. I just wasn't there. And I think if there are people that are still on the subject of greening vaccines and they want to make vaccines safer, that's fine. I respect that. I definitely believe that there's no way that you can do that if you really look at the science of vaccination and how vaccines are made. And then you start to understand your own immune system, and you are to understand, nutrition and vitamins, and you look, deeper into cellular theory versus terrain and soil theory. Do you know that's not possible? But I'm not going to judge people for having those thoughts, because they're just not there yet. And at the end of the day, we all have the same cause. We want dominion over our own bodies. We want to be able to put what we want to put in our own bodies. I still have friends that are pro-vaccine, and I respect them for that. I mean, all I can do at this point now is give them the information. I'm always posting stuff on my wall that, of course, that's caused me to lose friends and have people to think that I've lost my mind. But at the end of the day, I don't care, because now that I know this information, if something were to happen to their kid, what am I going to tell them? Am I going to say, well, I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to think that I was crazy or I was weird. So I just, I thought I'd be quiet. Now I feel like I have a responsibility, because I know this stuff, to tell people and let people know. If they think I'm crazy, so what? It's better than me not saying anything and something happens to their child and I could have done something about it, or themselves, because there are a lot of adults that get vaccine injured. So going back to the whole thing that's been on my mind, is just about the divide and conquer thing. They're in this movement, we all have the same cause, but not everybody is going to get along, and that's fine. There are people that don't like me. I probably don't like them either. It's fine. We're not all meant to be on this earth and sing kumbaya and hold hands together all the time. And in fact, it's really our differences and the way that we see things that makes us evolve and makes us grow. So if everybody was the same, it would be very frustrating and very boring, and we wouldn't really be growing as human beings. So with that said, I see people calling other people shills if they don't agree with them on how to do things a certain way. Like, for instance, I know there's a lawsuit going on, and there are people that are really upset with some of the people at Vax because they don't seem to be supporting the lawsuit in the way that they feel the lawsuit needs to be supported. And but look at what the makers of Vax have done. Look at how brilliant their think tank is. I'm like, God, I'm learning so much just about strategy and that I can apply to other areas in my life just by watching them and how they operate and how they work, and what they've done. And I mean, it's getting worldwide recognition, and this is just in theaters. And within a month or two, they said it's going to be on DVD, and then it's going to be even bigger. So I just think that we have different ways of going about things. Doesn't mean that we're against each other or that we're trying to thwart each other in our efforts to be successful with the cause that we're fighting for. So if we keep fighting each other, if we're really quick to call people shills and saying that they're phonies, or it's really just playing right into the pharmaceutical industry's hands. They're like, yes, let them fight, because at the end of the day, their house of cards is falling. They have that little boy. All they have is their best rebuttal to what's going on is a little boy with a folder full of empty papers. That's it. Really? Like, come on, dude. They are so desperate. They're in their death throes, and this knowledge is becoming more known all over the world. It's not in our best interest to fight each other, And I know, like I said, some people get on your nerves, some people get on my nerves. I just have to just be like, walk away, or, think of a strategy. But we can't fight each other. And also, with that said, I just want to say I'm really inspired by all the people that are doing like so many things. They're mobilizing. I mean, it really gives me faith in the human race to see, people like creating websites and doing blogs and their videos now and their Facebook pages, and people are making memes, and even the funny memes, are really helpful too, because this stuff is crazy. This is straight out, what's going on is straight out of like 1984. So in order to keep a sane mind, you have to laugh about it. So, I mean, everything that, people are doing like radio shows and talk shows and interviewing people. And, I mean, this is great. All these parents that are getting together and having community meetings and doing all these wonderful things. You guys are really awesome. Because of you, if I have a kid, I'm not getting vaccinated. Or I'm not going to vaccinate them, And for the people that, are afraid to post things on their wall, I went through a period where I was like, oh, I don't know, why am I doing this? All my friends hate me. They think I'm crazy, and, I'm not cool anymore. And, like I'm having a pity party. And, sooner or later, I had people come to me that maybe I thought weren't paying attention, but they knew that I research vaccines. So a few people that have had children have actually come to me and say like, hey, I'm having a kid, and, I know that you're into vaccines, but I don't know a lot about it. And, can you give me some information to get me started? And most of the time, actually all the time, for the people that look at the information and go deep, they never vaccinate. I've given information to people, and I know that they didn't look at it, and they're just like, oh, we were going to vaccinate anyway. That's fine. I mean, it's really painful, but at the end of the day, it's their life, it's their child. All you can do is give them the information and move on, and let people know that and let people know what you're into. And another thing that's really awesome too, a wonderful thing that happens too, when people understand and they know that you're into researching vaccines, people will send you things. I have friends that they're not even in vaccines and stuff, but they're like, hey, I know you're into vaccines, and I found this article, or I found this information, or, you're planting a seed. You never know who might come back around. So, keep up the good work. Do what you're doing. You guys are awesome. Bite your tongue. Don't fight. We can't afford to fight. we're almost there. I think within a few years. I mean, things are already starting to change. So, love you guys for, you know, all your hard work and your efforts and your sacrifice. You're gonna get your just dues one day. And I guess that's it. All right, peace, truth, and love. Bye. Mwah.